Hear that sound? It's the sound of excitement. Focus on the fun.
This is Corey Hampton's office, her source of income and of joy.
Woo!
But seeing the French Broad River is much more complicated now. The floodwaters 9 months ago changed everything.
We pulled people out of second-story windows in a river that just the day before had been calmer even than it is today. Yeah, I mean, I watched whole houses come down this river.
Hampton and her husband Mitch run French Broad Adventures, but they also volunteer for the local raft rescue team. Days of exhausting rescues after the flooding, then weeks of worse.
Doing recovery work, and what that means is...
Looking for bodies.
It painted the river in a new light for me, right? Normally we're taking tourists out. For that amount of time I was here we were all here doing gruesome work. I still see piles and I wonder if there's somebody in it. I still smell smells and think I should go look at that pile. And it's hard to kind of switch back to the like, oh, everything's fun, no big deal.
Also hard, then and now, seeing her community caught up in political fights. First, whether President Biden was doing enough for Western North Carolina. Now, whether President Trump is sending enough federal help.
We're not down here taking sides. We just wish that somebody would help and that the political wrangling over our futures would stop.
Tiny Hut Springs flooded when debris turned this bridge into a dam. Most of downtown is still a mess.
They want to pour some money into this town.
Amy Rubin and her husband rushed to reopen Big Pillow Brewing.
This is a county that voted 60% for Donald Trump. You're not one of those voters.
No.
Still no flood insurance check, but this new stage, part of a methodical cleanup and rebuilding. Get it done is the motto here, not point fingers.
We need a new bridge. We need that bridge to be replaced. I don't really know whose jurisdiction that is, but it's definitely something that needs to happen.
Hot Springs Mayor Abby Norton puts the build back at 40%.
What I thought Washington would do would be to immediately come in and either fix everything or supply the funds for us to fix everything. But that's not how it works.
Mayor Norton says she voted third party for president, just weeks after the flood.
Is there a Biden difference or a Trump difference in what you have experienced?
First of all, I'm not a politician. I never have been. But it has been better under the Trump administration than it was under Biden. My opinion.
Is that because they're more receptive and responsive?
Yes.
Or is it because Biden was president when it was hell, or?
Things are getting done faster. They are more responsive. We're getting a lot more help than we did.
But the mayor is quick to say things still take too long, like waiting for federal help to rebuild the town offices. Now troubled when she hears the president talk of big FEMA changes.
FEMA doesn't need to be eliminated. The processes need to be easier, more user-friendly. No, I don't think it needs to be eliminated at all.
Or shifted to the states, or?
No.
The postcard views bring the tourists here. The Appalachian Trail and the Blue Ridge Mountains. The Atlantic Ocean is nearly 500 miles away. So when Josh Kopus saw the rain and the winds, his first thought was the old Marshall jail he converted into a hotel might need some sandbags.
At 9 o'clock, the water went over the railroad tracks, which hadn't happened since '77. In an hour, there was 4 feet of water in the town, and you could just immediately know that this was a different kind of event. And I sat at the courthouse, which is the highest point in downtown, and watched it all happen for about 2 hours.
This is that spot Josh is talking about, the steps of the Madison County Courthouse in Marshall, North Carolina. Just imagine that. That's your hotel. That's your restaurant. That's your life's work. That's your savings spent renovating that building. And you had to come up here because the water's coming up over the bridge and it's creeping toward your business. You're watching this horror unfold, and then you realize I can't even stay here because here comes the water. I gotta go.
Did you think you were done?
In that moment, 100%. We were alone. There was no cell phone service. You know, I didn't even talk to my mom for days. And when you're in that space and you're looking at the destruction, it feels like you are done.
Day after day, shoveling mud with a brief break to vote.
I remember standing in a line, and this woman, you know, from our community was like, I heard FEMA condemned Marshall. And I was like, I just came from there. No, we're coming back. And she was like, I saw it on the internet. I mean, that stuff is hard, but it's the world we live in.
But it is different here. No one shoveling mud asked anyone who they were voting for. No one celebrating the hotel's reopening is here to debate national politics. And lost on no one is the sparkling backdrop for dinner and music on the patio. The same river that changed everything.
We're a town right on a river. Our town has flooded. It will again. Like, we know this.
This is a ceramic studio. Kopis can finally make time for his craft again. He is a Democrat and vastly outnumbered here, but more at home than ever.
It's not like everyone's walking around with a blue hat or a red hat. It's just, we're just people down here. And some of the beauty of the flood was like how it really taught us that, again, we have more in common than we have that separates us. And we're all Appalachian Americans. Like, that's something that we all connect with. So regardless of your political affiliation, like, our culture unifies us, for sure.
Much more to do, but a powerful lesson in resilience and in community. John King, CNN, Marshall, North Carolina.